Unit 1, Chemistry and the Cell. The Cell. 1. The cell is the basic unit of structure and function in all living things. A. Cell theory has three parts. 1. All living things are made of one or more cells. Unicellular, single-celled organisms. Amoeba, paramecium. Multicellular, have more than one cell, maybe just a few cells, or many trillions of cells. Almost all structures in multicelled organisms are either made of or by cells. 2. Cells carry out all life processes. Everything you do is the result of the work of your cells. Walking, talking, even thinking and feeling. When you get sick, it is because your cells are not working correctly. 3. All cells come from pre-existing cells. This seems obvious now, but at one time, people believed in spontaneous generation, the idea that living things regularly emerged from non-living things. Exceptions to cell theory. Viruses are not made of cells. Viruses do not carry out all life processes, so many biologists do not consider them true living things. The first cell could not come from another cell. Big question. How did the first cell begin? 2. Organization, smallest to largest. A. Molecules. B. Organelles, cell structures. C. Cells. D. Tissues, group of cells with the same structure and function. E. Organs, made of different tissues working together for the same function. F. Systems, groups of organs that work together for the same function. G. Organism, living thing, species. H. Population, members of the same species living in the same place at the same time. I. Community, many different populations living in the same place at the same time. Part 3. Cell organelles. These are the tiny parts that make up a cell. 1. Nucleus. Controls the cell. Contains hereditary material, chromosomes, genes, DNA. 2. Cytoplasm. Technically not an organelle. Fluid or liquid in the cell, mostly water. Helps transport material. 3. Mitochondrion. Carries out cellular respiration. Gives cell usable energy in the form of ATP, powerhouse of the cell. 4. Ribosome. Makes proteins by joining amino acids, protein synthesis. 5. Vacuole. Stores food, water, and waste. Food vacuoles with lysosomes may digest large molecules. Waste vacuoles may excrete waste out the cell membrane. Plant cells have large water vacuoles. 6. Chloroplast. Contains chlorophyll and carries out photosynthesis. Found only in plant cells and algae cells. 7. Cell wall. Gives shape, structure, and protection. Never found in animal cells. 8. Cell membrane. Separates cell interior from outer environment. Made of 2 layers of lipids plus proteins embedded in the lipid layers. Controls what enters and leaves the cell using membrane proteins. This is part of regulation and homeostasis. Has receptor molecules, proteins, that pick up signals from other cells. Also has protein tags that identify the cell. See immune system. Diffusion, movement of substances from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration, a form of passive transport that does not require energy. Osmosis, diffusion of water. Water moves into or out of the cell from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Active transport. Substances move into or out of the cells from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration. Requires the use of energy, ATP. Reminder, all life processes are chemical activities which make up your metabolism. 1. Nutrition. Taking in nutrients, food, for various activities including 1. Growth, 2. Repair damaged tissue, 3. Synthesis, building, 4. Cellular respiration, energy. A. Ingestion, to take nutrients into the body. B. Digestion, to break down nutrients, polymers, into smaller molecules, monomers. 1. Nutrients must be broken down into smaller parts so that they can be absorbed into the blood and cells of organisms. Carbohydrates, such as starches, are digested into monomers called simple sugars. Lipids, such as fats and oils, are digested into monomers called fatty acids. Proteins, such as meat and fish, are digested into monomers called amino acids. In this picture, it shows starch is broken down by enzyme X into two simple sugars, products. This is the lock and key model. C. Autotrophic nutrition. Organisms take inorganic molecules, CO2 and H2O, and convert them into organic nutrients, carbohydrates such as sugars and starches. 1. Autotroph, makes its own food. 2. Photosynthesis is most common form of autotrophic nutrition. 3. Producers such as plants, algae, and some bacteria, cyanobacteria, are common autotrophs. D. Heterotrophic nutrition. Organisms must consume nutrients from other organisms. 1. Heterotroph, can't make its own food. 2. All animals and all fungi and some bacteria are heterotrophs. 3. Includes carnivores, eats animals. Herbivores, eats plants or algae. Omnivores, eats both plants and animals. Decomposers, breaks down dead matter and waste. Decomposers are important decay organisms for recycling nutrients. 2. Photosynthesis, process in which sun's energy is stored in the chemical bonds of sugar. A. Requires sunlight, water, H2O, and carbon dioxide, CO2. B. Makes glucose, C6H12O6, as food. C. water, H2O, and oxygen, O2, are waste products. D. Benefits. 1. Provides food for all plants, animals, and other organisms. 2. Provides O2 for cellular respiration. 3. Removes CO2 from atmosphere. E. Plant adaptations. 1. Chloroplast. Cell organelle containing chlorophyll that does photosynthesis. 2. Gas exchange. Stomata. Pores or tiny openings under a leaf. Let gases in and out. Guard cells. Open and close the stomata to prevent plant drying out. 3. Transport. Xylem and phloem. Tubes transport food and water throughout the plant. 2 different views of the stomata, the clear opening, and their guard cells, X, that control the size of the stomata. 3. Cellular respiration. Process that takes energy from sugar molecules and places it in molecules of ATP. A. ATP is the molecule all cells use for energy. No organism can get usable energy from sunlight or sugar without first putting the energy into ATP. B. Requires oxygen, glucose, and water. C. Carbon dioxide and water are waste products. D. Most organisms carry out cellular respiration. Aerobic equals uses oxygen in the mitochondria. E. Fermentation, anaerobic, does not require oxygen and produces less ATP energy for each molecule of sugar. When exercise causes human muscles to run out of oxygen, the cells will do anaerobic respiration. The waste product, lactic acid, causes muscles to burn so that you will stop. F. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration are opposite reactions. They are important in cycling oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and water through the environment. Common mistakes. False. Plants do photosynthesis, animals do cellular respiration. True. All organisms, including plants, use cellular respiration to get their energy as ATP. False. Respiration is breathing. True. Breathing is not respiration. Breathing exchanges the gases needed for respiration. Inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide does not give you ATP. False. Oxygen is used to breathe. True. This is backwards. Breathing is used to get oxygen, which is used for cellular respiration. Without oxygen, you have no respiration, no ATP, and no energy. False. All living things need oxygen. All living things need to breathe. True. Anaerobic organisms, such as yeast and some bacteria, do not need oxygen and do not breathe.